In the age of the smartphone, most of us don't need a watch. And with the advent of quartz technology in 1969, the Seiko Astron debuted on Christmas Day that year. A real test for the watch industry emerged. If inexpensive, relatively simple quartz movements could keep exact time, why emphasize watchmaking mastery, tiny gears, minute springs, and complex mechanical complications? What separates a stylus device that keeps track of the hours, minutes, and seconds of your day from a statement of aesthetics and sophisticated luxury? What makes a luxurious timepiece more than a watch is a transcendence of simple time-telling. And especially for gentlemen, a wristwatch is one of the few remaining accessories that allow personal expression in a professional environment. Let's take a closer look at the icons of style. My picks for the top 10 most luxurious watch brands in the world today. We start off with Rolex. Founded in 1905 as Wilsdorf and Davis, Rolex became the brand we now know by 1920 through a change in names and location. Headquartered in Geneva since then, Rolex is the brand in horology, easily outselling its rivals year after year and decade after decade. And from horological innovations like the first waterproof watch to the perpetual rotor self-winding mechanism, what Rolex unveiled, everyone else adopted. High mechanical precision, exquisite craftsmanship, and rugged sophistication define Rolex. And thanks to screen legends like James Bond and icons of cool like Steve McQueen, models like the Submariner are immediately recognizable. Indeed, the right Rolex on your wrist is a marker of taste, a subtle hint that you know how to spend money on what counts, not on fads or gaudy displays of wealth. Move on to Omega. Founded by Louis Brandt in Les Chaux-de-Fonds in 1848 and adopting the Omega name in 1984, this watch company has an enviable reputation in horology. Responsible for the Moonwatch, the Omega Speedmaster, worn by Neil Armstrong on his lunar mission, brand ambassadors like George Clooney or Daniel Craig demonstrate the timeless appeal of their designs. In addition to the Moonwatch, models like the Seamaster and Aquaterra communicate effortless style, discerning taste, and concern for craftsmanship and quality that set Omega apart from fashion brands. And Omega says that you appreciate luxury, but are mature enough to avoid ostentation and self-restrained enough to draw a distinction between luxury and conspicuous consumption. And while perpetually chasing Rolex's market dominance, watch aficionados will agree that Omega plays second fiddle to no one. Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe enjoys the distinction of being the oldest family-owned Genevan watch manufacturer, connecting the latest innovations to horological tradition in an unbroken line. As much a maker of movements as watches simply, Patek Philippe is responsible for some of the world's most complicated mechanical timepieces. And while complexity and luxury aren't synonyms in most cases, in horology, the attention to detail, meticulous design, and hand-worked movements behind the dial of a Patek are testaments to refined luxury. Stunning models like the 6159G and 5236P, as well as understatedly elegant options like the 5227G Mark Patek Philippe, set it apart from the fold. And it's not just that watch enthusiasts will recognize what you're wearing, it's that even people who don't care about timepieces will find these designs eye-catching and sophisticated. Breitling. The story of Breitling begins in 1884 in Saint-Amier, Switzerland, when Leon Breitling founded his watch company. Since then, the company has changed hands, and the Breitling name has become synonymous with refined aviator watches that pair mechanical precision with high style. And from the top time to the Navitimer, horological cognoscenti can wax eloquent about the movements, quality, and craft behind the name. The former has graced the wrist of 007. The latter is a favorite choice of Dave Chappelle, John Travolta, and Charlize Theron. Elegant quality and impeccable attention to detail are the beating heart of Breitling's designs. And whatever your particular tastes, you'll find a model that reflects your self-expression. IWC. IWC has a history nearly as complicated as its most impressive movements. Headquartered in Schaffhausen, Switzerland, IWC is legendary for its pilot-inspired watches like the Portugieser and Portofino. Luxury, married to an impressive legacy of military pilots' watches, means that you can expect a clean aesthetic that leans toward legibility. But if you think this means bare bones, just check out the amazing Big Pilot's watch AMG G63 or its close relative, the IW501001. Stunning mechanical precision, eye-catching designs that just ooze class. That's what you can expect from IWC. These sophisticated yet playful designs are favored by the likes of John Malkovich, Bradley Cooper, and Quentin Tarantino, as well as young talents such as Kyle Soller and Anthony Boyle. Breguet. Unless you possess a deep familiarity with horology, you're probably unfamiliar with Breguet. This French watchmaker, founded in 1775, is behind some of the most important innovations in wristwatch history, including its invention. With that rich history, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Breguet could rest on its laurels. But far from it. Constant innovation, an obsession with beauty, and award after award driven by current designs, not respect for tradition. To my eye, Breguet is impossible to beat for elegance, and catching a glimpse of a deep blue enamel dial tells me immediately that whoever's wearing one is discerning and polished. Breguet makes many watches. For me, there's only one. The Classique 5177 Grand Feu Bleu Enamel. Unrivaled in its elegance and grounded in a history so deep that the design of its hour, minute, and seconds hands are called Breguet by the industry broadly. And you get a sense of how wearing this watch places you apart from the crowd. Bonaparte, Victoria, Churchill, Bugatti, Rachmaninoff, and Dre. You'll find these watches on the wrists of legends, not lackeys. Vacheron Constantin. Vacheron Constantin, like Breguet, draws on a wrist-making history that traces all the way back to 1755. Revered, not just known for their mechanical complications, Vacheron Constantin isn't just a fashionable choice. It's a knowledgeable decision that reflects a sense of taste beyond trends and fashion that's anything but fast. Models like the Overseas Dual Time or Chronograph, the Traditionnel Twin Beat Perpetual Calendar, and the Historique 222 in both gold and stainless steel have graced the wrists of Daniel Kaluuya, Brad Pitt, Steph Curry, and Alexander Skarsgård, among others. Why? You can certainly spend more than you would on a Vacheron Constantin, and you could certainly choose a more popular brand. But then, that's not what sets those who wear these watches apart. Instead, it's taste, refinement, and a real appetite for luxury that's not out of the reach for the rich, but rather a marker of quiet distinction like Breguet. Audemars Piguet. Founded by Jules-Louis Audemars and Edward Auguste Piguet in 1875 and currently headquartered in La Brosse, Switzerland, Audemars Piguet is another brand that's not front and center precisely because its clientele is discerning. Quincy Jones knew a few things about style and sophistication. Travis Scott is nothing less than cool, dropping the temperature several degrees just by walking into the room. And Serena Williams is no one's marketing ploy or billboard. What unites them? Their love affair with the Royal Oak. No one familiar with horology can mistake it for anything else than a flagship Audemars Piguet. Refined, effortlessly cool, and unmistakably insider luxury. The Royal Oak has been described as Hollywood's favorite watch, but don't overlook the unforgettable code 11.59. That's the Audemars Piguet foremost in my mind, and for those searching for discreet luxury, this collection deserves attention. Seiko, especially Grand Seiko. Seiko doesn't normally make the cut when you think luxury, but that's mostly because the company is better known for its affordable collections like the Phi Sports or Cocktail Time. I own and wear both. And if you haven't taken a closer look at the dials and designs of the Cocktail Time, you might be in for a shock. But here I want to single out the Grand Seiko, a Japanese expression of wearable elegance. Consider the Seiko Watchmaking 110th Anniversary Limited Edition, an impossible sophisticated expression of taste, or the Grand Seiko, sporting a wood-grain black dial that captures the natural beauty of annual growth rings of cedar trees in Shizukuishi Shrine near Grand Seiko Studio Shizukuishi. True, it's not a celebrity watch, at least not outside of Japan, but then for some people, that's a feature, not a bug. Why follow when you can lead? Jaeger-LeCoultre. Last but most certainly not least, I'd like to mention Jaeger-LeCoultre. Founded by Antoine Lecoutre in 1833, this Swiss company is as well known for its meticulously designed and crafted movements as it is for its timepieces, and with a history almost equal to Breguet, and it's not something I say lightly. Jaeger-LeCoultre simply can't be passed over when considering top luxury brands. I'm not sure that there's a watchmaker that offers so many beautiful timepieces, and you could probably pick one at random and fall in love immediately. But I'd recommend you take a closer look at the Reverso, Polaris, and Master Control collections. Jay-Z has been seduced by the Reverso, while Benedict Cumberbatch prefers the Master Ultra Thin Tourbillon enamel in white gold. And Timothée Chalamet can't get enough of this 33mm Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Classic Medium Duoface Small Second. Luxury isn't just about how much you pay for something. It's about style, discernment, and value. And while high mechanical complications, rare metals, and diamonds can make any design expensive, they can't replicate true luxury that comes instead from a heady combination of history and innovation, substance married to style, and discernment and sophistication that eschews fast fashion. Wear one of these watches for a day or two, and you'll see exactly what I mean.